Alright guys, does anyone want to tell me why Cid is the most extra person I've ever seen, dude? Oh my god. This man literally decorated the room to put on a persona. And like, yes, look how sophisticated I am. This freaking guy, dude. Oh, this show, it makes me laugh. I'll say that. It's pretty funny. This series continues to entertain me every single week. And for that, it's well worth doing a video for you guys. I very much enjoy these videos. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it and talk about the Eminence in Shadow episode 4 today. So our episode begins with Alexia waking up in this strange, unknown place. And I'll keep it a buck. I kind of forgot she got taken. I forgot. But as she's looking around, she notices that this is like some underground laboratory that she's in. And when she looks next to her, she notices that the cell is broken and that there's a creature in there. A very person-like creature. I imagine this is someone who's been experimented on to an extent, and now they look like this. And it's here that we see our mad scientist walk into the room, ranting about blood. And Alexia's kind of funny in this situation. She's just so calm. Like, how do you do? Are you the one that kidnapped me? Like, what? Who'd be calm in this situation? You can tell she's putting on a brave face, though, as she says, "Can I ask you a question? What are you going to be using my blood for?" As he stutters out that your blood is demon blood. I'm going to resurrect the demon in the modern day. And I'm just like Alexia in this situation. I'm like, I see. Sounds lovely. Like, what? That's so random, but alright. But I mean, this is a fantasy series, so we really do gotta have demons, I guess. You know? Why not? And it's here we transition to Cid just getting the absolute shit kicked out of him right here. This is royal brutality. Thank you very much. As they say, you're the only one that could possibly have done it. Where is Princess Alexia? And they're clearly in on it. Like, it's pretty obvious. As Cid says that the physical pain is something I can put up with. But this interrogation is such classic minor character material, man! It's such a high degree of NPC-ness. I can't let them out-unshine me! They say, we're gonna have to give him a wider variety of pain. And Cid's just like, no, don't, please, oh no. As they stab him and he's just like, oh no, it hurts, ow, it hurts so much. As he says, yo, I'm a much better background character than you. No, it hurts, please, let me go, let me live. As he just says, yo, that was the perfect clincher. They're really gonna believe that now. And it's here we transition to Alexia, and she's looking a little rougher this time. They've been taking a lot of blood from her. As she says, my sister should have been looking for me a long time ago. Like, what's going on here? Where is everybody? She still has the composure to be calm, though. She says, yeah, I'd appreciate it if you didn't take too much of my blood. I'm kind of dying here. And this guy is very unhinged, because all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he just starts freaking out like it wasn't supposed to be like this. And for her own safety, she's playing along so he doesn't take that anger out on her. And he just starts losing his shit in this situation. And he actually goes to the cage next to hers and starts beating up the other person he has captured in there. And it's kind of messed up, actually. Even Alexia notices that and says, I thought you were going to take my blood, trying to get him to stop beating on them. As he says, yes, you're right, the blood. And he focuses back on her. But he decides that, you know, your blood levels have gone down kind of low. I gotta make sure I feed you. As he starts stuffing food down her throat. And I gotta admit, this scene's a little unsettling. I'll be real. This makes it like, alright, now we're in a bad situation. This scene was a little unnerving. But it adds to the tension. And it's here we actually transition to her sister talking to Zenon about what's going on, as he tells her that I kind of feel partially responsible as the incident most likely happened on school grounds. And if I was her sister, like, how does that not raise red flags all of a sudden? Like, this highly guarded school grounds, literally guarded by the knights of your kingdom, I believe, and your own sister just suddenly gets kidnapped on it. Okay, that's fine. Highly convenient, but okay. She tells him that our highest priority is to find my sister right now. And she says, and I understand that there's a strong possibility she was kidnapped by a student named Cid Continue. As Zenon says, it's true that the evidence is against him, but knowing his skill level, even if he did attack Princess Alexia, I doubt he could have overpowered her. Okay. She says, even after 5 days of interrogation, he's given us nothing. But we should continue to monitor him once he's been released. As Zenon tells her that as long as he remains a suspect, that's the right course of action. Zenon is suspicious as hell, man. Let's be real. Like, he's suspicious as fuck in this situation. Like, what? She says, I would prefer not to suspect my sister's classmates myself, but we'll wait for the report before we make a decision. As she actually looks out the window and notices that Claire's going crazy down there. Like, yo, my brother's in trouble. Get the hell out of my way. I gotta go save his dumb ass. As she gets stopped by this real uppity looking girl, which I imagine they'll play bigger parts in the foreseeable future. But for now, they're just there. As her sister starts remembering that back then, crossing swords was all it took for us to understand each other. But now they've grown more distant than ever, as she says, when was the last time we even talked to each other? And she doesn't even realize that she's the one that kind of pushed her away inadvertently with what she's been doing. And it's here we transition back to Alexia again, and she's looking really rough this time. Like, cuts all over her, food splattered all over her. Her face looks very like empty right now. She's not looking good. You can tell she's getting worse and worse as we go back. It's here that the Knights release Cid, and they literally just throw his ass on the street in his underwear. Like, damn, that's kind of rough. Eminence and Shadow or not, I'm not trying to be thrown on the street in my underwear. And on the train ride home, he tells us, the audience, that, yo, I could heal my wounds instantly. But that wouldn't be very background character of me. This guy, man. As he looks over and notices that he's being watched and followed. So as he gets off the train, he actually has a very quick conversation with someone as they walk past each other, as she says, later. As she takes out the people following him. And as he gets back to his dorm, we see that it was Alpha there the whole time. He asks her, so what brings you here? And she says that I got a call, so I came back. And this show really loves angles. We'll just leave it at that. This show loves angles. She asks him, I heard you got into trouble. And he's like, I guess so. But like, how are things with you? She tells him that we're making more progress on our investigation of the cult. Of course, we've been increasing our organization's influence as well. We're not as strong as the cult yet, but we're growing steadily. As Cid tells us that most of the time they live normal lives, but sometimes they stop by like this to play along with my game. He still thinks this is a game. She tells him the way things are going, you're going to get blamed for this crime, and he tells her, I know that. The lackluster son of a poor baron is the perfect patsy. She tells him that we can't trust the Night Order. He says, the cult got to them? She says, yes, beyond any doubt. It was the cult that kidnapped the princess. The royal family has a higher concentration of heroes' blood in their veins. If she dies, they can't extract anymore, meaning that they're going to make sure she's safe no matter what. They're not going to kill her. And it's here she starts questioning him about his relationship with the princess as she's taking his ties off, taking his shoes off, and I'm like, yo, what are we about to do right here, show? She says, I wish you would trust us more, though. She tells him, you lie low for a while, I'll send word when we're ready. And as she's leaving, she says that Delta's here too. She's been missing you as she leaves his room. And it's here Cid starts preparing his room for his meeting, saying how I've prepared for this day. Vintage wine from Bordeaux in the southwest region of France, 900,000 zeni. Glasses also produced in France, 450,000. As he just starts putting paintings, lamps everywhere in the room, as he says, hunting all those bandits. Crawling around to pick up whatever coins I could find on the ground. It was all to complete my Eminence and Shadow collection. And it's here as Beta enters the room, again, angles. She walks in and we just hear, "The time has come. This world is a world of shadows." As we just see this motherfucker sitting there sipping wine like, come on. Cid is so beyond extra. I kind of love it. Delta's just like, or Beta's just like, "Oh my god, he's so hot." As she says, "A night with a full moon. Truly a fitting world for us." As she says that under Lady Alpha's orders, we have gathered all available personnel here at the royal capital. They number 114! Even Cid's like, "Yo, did we hire some extras or something? What the hell? 114 people now, huh?" She says that our plan is to launch simultaneous attacks on all the Fenrir sect hideouts of the Diablos cult scattered across the capital. At the same time, we will search for traces of Princess Alexia's magic. Gamma will take general command while Lady Alpha leads the troops on site. Epsilon will take charge of support from behind. And Delta will lead the vanguard and signal the start of the operation. But Cid's got to be extra and say, "This letter, look at it." As he says, "My apologies to Delta, but I will be playing the prelude. Tonight, the world will know us." As we just get this shot of wind blowing behind him. And I think it would be so hilarious, dude, if he had like a wind machine just outside the window, blowing wind into the room to make it look more awesome. That would be so funny to me. I wish that would have happened so badly. As we transition to the knights who were interrogating Cid, apparently waiting for him to show up. And as he shows up, they toss him Alexia's shoe and say, "What are you doing there with the princess's boot, huh?" "Oh wow, there's traces of her magic all over it." Cid's like, "I see. This is your game, huh?" They say, "If you would have just talked, you could have spared yourself a lot of pain." As they say, "Cid Cogino, you're under arrest for the kidnapping of Royal Princess Alexia." But all of a sudden, they notice that their lookouts have been taken out behind them. And in that moment, Cid cuts one of them down and then cuts the other's arm off. And we're finally getting serious. They say, "Don't think you can get away with treating the Night Order like..." But Cid cuts him off and says, "Don't worry about it. By the time the sun is up, this will all be over." As he brutally cuts them down. Bro, and Beta's just behind the corner writing down everything. Like, what? That's so ridiculous to me. As we transition to them just ransacking the city as they're taking out all these different points throughout the capital. It's honestly kind of cool. As we transition to Alexia's sister, she says, "I want the knights to focus their protection on the school. I'm going to the front lines myself." And it's here we transition back to Alexia, and she looks terrible. Her eyes are dead at this point. As she looks over next to her and says, "It's hard to sleep with all this noise, huh? But I'd rather be awake. I don't want to miss the fun." She knows what's going on. Or at least she thinks she does. As the scientist starts freaking out and he says that, "I made a prototype. Now even this defect can make itself useful." As it looks like he injects blood into the other experiment. And Alexis even tells him that, "I wouldn't do that." As the experiment grows to huge sizes and immediately kills him. And Alexia even says that, "I tried to warn you, man." As the experiment actually frees her, breaks out, and starts wreaking havoc in the capital. As Alexia actually grabs a sword and starts trying to get out on her own. And as she's walking around, we just hear, "I can't have you running out on us, you know." As it gets revealed that, dun dun dun, it was Zenon the entire time. Who could have possibly imagined that? Insane reveal. He tells her that, "This is my facility. I funded that man's research." Naturally, she gets pissed, but then she's like, "What a relief. I always thought you must not be right in the head. It looks like I was completely right." He says, "It doesn't matter as long as I have your blood. With your blood and his research, I'll be guaranteed the 12th seat in the rounds." She's like, "What is that, a group of lunatics?" Probably. As he explains that the 12 highest ranking knights in the order, the Knights of the Rounds, it comes with money and fame that doesn't even compare to what I have now. Actually, Iris would have been a more fitting offering, but you'll have to do. And obviously Alexia gets pissed at that as he says, I forgot you hate being compared to your sister. My bad. And they start fighting as he says, better than usual, but you'll never be more than a fencer ordinaire. As she actually unleashes an attack on him and cuts him on the arm, and he says, a flashy move you copied from your sister, huh? Then he says, in that case, let me show you the skill of a future knight of the rounds. As he easily disarms her, sending her sword flying, and literally punches her in the face into the water. And I'm like, damn. You will never be like your sister. What an actual slap in the face that sentence is. And it's here, we just see him walking on in. I knew it would happen. As Zenon says, a man clad in purest black. And Alexia looks shocked. I think she knows it's him, honestly. I think she does. As he says, my name is Shadow, he who lurks in the shadows in order to hunt the shadows. And then our episode ends right when it's getting super good. Like, come on, man. Like, I knew they would do that, but damn. It was actually getting good. I really want to see him fuck Zenon up. I don't want to wait till next week for that, man. But yeah, guys, this show is something else. I gotta admit. The first couple episodes, I was memeing on it, but I'm genuinely, like, really starting to actually like it. The story's actually starting to progress more and more. They're getting way bigger, their organization. They had 114 people that they brought to the Capitol. And that's not even everyone. Are they all women? Are they all women in the group? Does he have, like, 160 women at his disposal? Like, what's going on with that? Yo, talk about a harem, bro. Like, this show is ridiculous, but it's very fun. And the story is fairly interesting, honestly. So, I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do, doing it every week, because it always gets a laugh out of me. But that'll be it for today's episode, guys. I hope you have a great day, week, month, and year. And until next week, when we get the ridiculous, awesome edginess of this show, I'll see you guys then. Deuces.